Hello everyone. Prince Harry and Meghan believe this about young Prince George. I know you know as well as I do that Meghan's children, including Lili and Archie, will never appear. It was, is, and will be the same in the future. But it's funny how they like to use other children to promote their names. And now they continue to implicate Prince George. That is rather clear, isn't it? Therefore, it should come as no surprise that Prince Harry does not have any kind of contact with any of his relatives. Meghan Markle, who is his wife, is largely responsible for all of this success. That she had lost her family, and that, evidently, this was the family that she had never had, is something that he said, physically on camera during broadcasting. If you are famously remembering this, you know that he said this, and after that, she had abandoned that family. See how this operates, don't you? On the other hand, a great number of people are also wondering why it is that we never see the children that Harry and Meghan have not been able to locate. Why is it that we never get any new information? Even an update on Archie or Lily? When she says things like, "My children are amazing," they're just, they leave us in awe. It is all very well for her to put these bombshells out there. Then, of course, she makes use of them in Colombia to emphasize the fact that, my son is the same age as you, which is a reference to the kid that nobody ever sees. To answer the question, yes, of course, she is not required to exhibit the children to the rest of the world. She does not have any obligations whatsoever, because she is not a working royal. But then, of course, when she is pretending to be successful in order to make a lot of money using her title, some people may argue that she ought to at least be a little bit more compassionate, if we may use that phrase, particularly when she is using the children for a single purpose, which is to draw attention to the fact that she has kept all of them away from senior members of the British monarchy. When it comes to Prince George, here is where things take a turn for the really strange. This is Prince George. Now, to put it simply, I believe that he is developing into a young man who is rather sophisticated. You are able to observe the extremely good and tight relationship that he has with his father, the Prince of Wales, especially when it comes to connecting with football. On the other hand, he has a close relationship with Catherine, the Princess of Wales. You, too, are able to feel that sensation, despite the fact that it is only my viewpoint. It is how I feel, as a result of my participation in the travels and the fact that I have witnessed them together. It is clear that he is a little bit reserved. Nevertheless, it is only natural that he is at that age, isn't he? When he is sometimes a little bit embarrassed by all the attention that he receives. It has been brought to our attention that Harry is of the firm belief that George will be his primary rival in the years to come, as stated by a reliable source, mostly due to the fact that it is evident that he is going to be a handsome young kid, and this is what the media is focusing on, a handsome guy inside the royal family. A little bit like His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales or Prince William, respectively. It would appear that what is going to be fascinating is the fact that Harry has informed a reliable source that he is optimistic about the possibility of their relationship being revived. This is due to the fact that he believes that he began a wonderful bond with Prince George while he was still a very little child. Do you really believe this? Do you believe that Harry and Prince George will have a good relationship? If so, comment number 1, and if you don't think so, comment number 2. In point of fact, they had a pleasant time together, and he is confident that George will remember this and want to know, to get this, why he has been shunned and isolated, and why he is not permitted to communicate with him. Harry, I believe that this is the point at which you start to get pretty delusional. You made the decision to shut off communication with your family. It was your choice. First and foremost, it is imperative that Prince George be safeguarded. It is imperative that we do not overlook the fact that it is not acceptable to take advantage of him in the context of picture chances, or even to discuss them when traveling to Colombia. Meghan is highly protective of her children, much as Catherine and William are very protective of their children. Meghan is also quite cautious about keeping her children hidden from the public eye. In spite of this, it was an intriguing matter because it was derived from a talk that Harry had with a reliable source back in the United Kingdom, a person who was a good friend of his. So, if Harry is actually of the opinion that in 5 years' time William will be interested enough and want to reach out enough to renew a connection that reportedly began when he was so little, so many years ago now, then he will want to know exactly why he has not been permitted to maintain in touch with a fun uncle. Certainly, William and Catherine are giving their children the greatest childhood with their grandparents' and family's support and love. Meanwhile, Meghan and Harry seem deluded, and I worry about their mental health. They appear to be getting desperate. I would not let them anywhere near the kids. Harry is already 40. What will he have in common with George? It is very sad. Harry needs to focus on his relationship with his own son and leave the Wales children alone. Certainly, I would not want my child or children near Harry and Meghan for obvious reasons. But in fact, I believe the baby they presented in the UK was either rented or provided by a surrogate and returned to the birth mother. We shall see one of these days. Same for Lily. In fact, assuming those children really existed. Here are some words I would like to convey to Harry. Harry needs to be more concerned about his own children. Why they're not allowed to see either side of Meghan's side, except Doria, and why Harry chose to Megxit, and why their mum always said no to Harry bringing them to see his family and their other grandpa who is a king. I think Harry's kids will be the ones with many questions. George probably saw Harry less than 6 times before Meghan. If you think they were even remotely close, go look at the videos and photos at the polo match when Archie was a baby and other events. At all those events, including the funeral, coronation, and even trooping, as well as the king's birthday photo session, George never got near Uncle Harry or even acknowledged him. At the wedding, the children were pulled out of the last part, and in all the photos, including the after photos, there's no connection between the children and Uncle Harry. If there was any closeness, you'd see eye contact and or a wave. You see the children around all the other relatives, and there's always eye contact, hugs, waves, etc. Prince William would never let Prince George hang with Harry. Prince William would always tell Prince George the truth. Harry hasn't had a relationship with William's children since he got married in 2018. George was 5. He has vague memories of Harry. Clearly, the Harkles moved to Frogmore Cottage just before Archie's birth in spring 2019, went on the South African trip and skipped Xmas at Sandringham. Then it was Megxit in January 2020. George and his siblings had limited interaction, let alone any meaningful relationship with Harry and his wife. Harry is deluded as always. You know, it might not be a bad idea to educate George and the other children to never go anywhere with Harry or anyone like him, just to be on the safe side. You can never be sure about Harry or where he'll turn up. He certainly is not to be trusted. Not only that, he has isolated his children from the royal family and thinks he should have a relationship with Prince George. He has no self-awareness of the irony. Both he isn't very intelligent and he is delusional. His wife is a narcissist and she did what her ilk do. They separate you from your friends, then your family, and you have no one left to turn to when they show their true colors. They know their mark and who is easily manipulated. He fell for her charms, hook, line, and sinker. This does not excuse him. He went on the attack with her. Most victims try desperately to get out of this situation, and for many, it can sadly take years, if at all, because there is no one left to turn to. He has the audacity to think the young prince will ponder on why he has no relationship with the uncle who turned his back on him and the rest of the family, hurting his parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents. He is so delusional. In short, Harry cannot be trusted near the Wales children, nor can his nasty, jealous, vindictive wife. You can always count on the Sussex duo to go lower. Going after a child is disgusting. They need a protective order if they ever go back to England. Certainly. I also believe that Harry can't come to grips with that is his life of his own making. So he tells himself these things in an effort to put the blame on everyone else and rewrite history. Please do not put Prince George in the same sentence as the Harkles. Leave Prince George alone. Accept it. Harry, you are just no longer important enough to anyone in the royal family to care about a relationship with you. Find some friends in California and live a good life. There are almost 40 million people in California. Harry and Meghan cannot find even 2 to be their friends. I believe George will know that his parents did what was best for him and his siblings. If he has any doubts, they can show him the Apple movie, The Me You Can't See, the Oprah interview, and let him read the book, Spare. Let him see all the interviews he and his wife have done about the family. Let him see what Harry and Meghan's friend Omid Scooby said about George's mother and grandfather. Yet Harry did not come out and defend them. Let him read about Harry's lawsuits, etc. I really don't think any intelligent young person would see why his parents kept him away from Harry and Meghan. Do you have any thoughts? I can't wait to find out. So if you could please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We are grateful that you have watched our videos. It is my sincere wish that you find my videos to be beneficial, whether they are informative or amusing. So I would appreciate it if you would give me a like, share, and subscribe. We will see each other again soon.